My dear young friends, before coming to the topic on reagent and reagent combinations which I will be taking today, let me introduce myself. Friends, I am Dr. M.D. Kharia, a retired professor and ex-head of the reputed pharmacy department of Dr. Hari Singh Gaur Central University, Sagar, Madhya Pradesh, with more than 40 years of experience of teaching and research in pharmacognosy and phytochemistry. Today, I am here to discuss with you an important class of plant constituents which relates to reagents and reagent combinations. These are the amorphous products of complex chemical nature valued for their medicinal and biological activity. Reagents and reagent combinations are valued for their anti-inflammatory, purgative, expectorant, antiseptic and astringent properties. Today, to begin with, I will be discussing the general aspects of reagents and their combinations with regard to their definition, occurrence, chemistry, properties, classification and their pharmaceutical importance. Subsequently, if time permits, I will take up certain important drugs such as podophyllum, cannabis and jalap belonging to this class of bioactives. Now, coming to reagent and reagent combinations, let me discuss first the definition. What are the reagents? So, reagents are amorphous products of complex chemical nature. They are usually formed in schizogenous or lysogenous ducts or cavities and are the end products of the destructive metabolism. Chemically, reagents are complex mixtures of essential oils, oxygenated products of terpenes, reagent acids, reagent alcohols, reagenothanols, esters and resins. Physically, reagents are usually hard, transparent or translucent solids, semi-solids or liquid substances, and upon heating they soften and finally melt. The purified reagents are usually brittle, amorphous solids which fuse readily upon heating after passing through a preliminary stage of softening. Now, coming to the solubility of reagent and reagent combinations, reagents are insoluble in water and usually in petroleum ether, but they are soluble in alcohol, volatile oils, fixed oils, chloral hydrate and some other organic solvents and forms solutions which on evaporation deposit the resin as varnish like films. Reagents burn with characteristic smoky flame usually emitting some aroma or smell. Now, coming to the occurrence, reagents are found in cystogenous or lysogenous ducts or cavities. Often, they are physiological products, but yield increases by injury to the tree. Example of this is pine tree, but some reagents are pathological products also. For example, benzoin and balsam of tolu. Reagents may be found in reagent cells, example of which is bloodroot. They are found in heartwood, the example of that which is guaiacum. In external glands, the example of which is Indian hemp. In external glands, the example of which is male fern, or in glands on the surface, and the example of which is lac insects. Now, coming to the classification of reagents. 1. Reagent classification on the basis of combination. In trees or plants, reagents are found in combination with other chemical compounds as below. 1 is oleoresin. It is the homogeneous mixture of mainly volatile oil and reagents. The example of this is turpentine, Canada balsam, copaiba, aspidium and cubeb. The another class of this is gum reagents. They are mainly the mixture of the gums with reagents. Exceptionally, they may contain a very little amount of volatile oil. Example of gum reagent is gambose. Now coming to the third classification. Third classification is oleogum reagent. It is a mixture of essential oil, gum and reagent. And the example of this is gugul, that is Commiphora mucul, or salai gugul, that is obtained from Boswellia serrata, myrrh and asafoetida, which is commonly called as hing. Now, the another classification or class of this is balsams. These are resinous mixtures, usually oleoreagents containing cinnamic or benzoic acid or both, or esters of these acids. Now, example of this is benzoin, peru balsam, tolu balsam and styrex. The another class of this is glucoreagents or glycoreagents. Here the reagents are found with glycosidal combinations, and the example of this is ipomia, jalap, podophyllum. The another classification of reagents is on the basis of principal constituents present in reagents, and according to this, the reagents are classified in 4 groups. The first group is reagent acids. The example of this is abietic acid, which is found in colophony, copaibic acid, which is found in copaiba, guaiaconic acid, which is found in guaiac, sandracholic acid, which is found in sandrach, and commiphoric acid, which is found in myrrh. The second group of this is resin alcohol. The example of this is reginotanol and resinols. The example of reginotanol is oleoresinol, which is found in aloes, the amoresinotanol and galvaresinotanol, which is found in ammoniac, the peruresinotanol, which is found in balsam of Peru, and cia-resinotanol and suma-resinotanol, which is found in benzoin. The another example of this is tolu-resinotanol, which is found in tolu balsam. The third group of this comprises with the ester reagents, and the example of this is cinnamyl cinnamate and guaiacoresin, which is found in guaiac resin. The fourth category of this is resins. Now, resins are complex natural substances devoid of characteristic chemical properties. They are chemically inert, they do not form salts and do not hydrolyze, and the example of this is alban, which is found in Gattaparcha, olivano resin which is found in olibanum and the damer. Now coming to the importance of reagents. The reagents possess astringent property, and as a astringent property they are used as mouthwash. They have got the local stimulant activity. The reagents also has the general antiseptic activity, and they do possess anti-inflammatory activity, and the example of this is gugul, which is obtained from commiphora, and salai, that is obtained from gugul, and gugul is obtained from Boswellia serrata, and which is used in anti-inflammatory formulations such as Salaki tablets. They are also used as carminative and expectorant properties, and the example of this is asafoetida. They do have the urinary antiseptic properties, and the example of this is copaiba resin. The resin and resin combinations are also have cathartic properties, and the example of this are podophyllum, jalap and ipomia. Now let us come to the extraction of the reagents, how the reagents are extracted actually from the plants or from the material which is obtained from the plants. Now the method of extraction depends on the chemical composition of the reagents. There are different methods which are used for this. Now under method 1, the crude drug is extracted with alcohol, and the alcoholic extract is poured in water, and after this the reagents are precipitated in water, they are filtered and reagent is separated. The separated reagent is dried properly and packed in the suitable containers for market. The example of this category are podophyllum, jalap and ipomia. Now under method 2, by separating the oil from the oleoresin by distillation. For example, colophony and copaibic resin from the copaiba. Under method 3, by heating the plant part, and example is the isolation of guaiac resin from guaiac wood. Now under method 4, by evaporating the volatile oil from oleoresin partially into the atmosphere. The example of this is burgundy pitch and mastic. Now coming to the method 5, the reagents are obtained by collecting the reagent from the fossils, and the example of this is copal and damer. Now under method 6, the oleoreagents are extracted by alcohol. For example, ginger oleoresin is isolated from ginger, and oleoresin from gugul and salai gugul. Now I am coming to the individual drug, that is podophyllum. Podophyllum is also known as mayapple or mandrake. Now coming to the botanical source, podophyllum comprises of dried roots and rhizomes of Podophyllum peltatum, that is American podophyllum, and Podophyllum hexandrum or Podophyllum emodii. Now these are the Indian podophyllum. It belongs to the family Berberidieaceae, which is also called as Podophyllaceae. Now I will be coming to the geographical distribution of podophyllum. Whereas Podophyllum peltatum is grown in eastern USA and Canada, the Indian podophyllum is grown in Himalayan region from Kashmir to Sikkim, Himachal and Uttaranchal, and in Pakistan and China. Now there is an important note about the podophyllum. Podophyllum is an important and old American herbal drug known and used by the Red Indians. Now I will be discussing about the collection of the podophyllum. Podophyllum is collected mainly from wild grown plants. The rhizomes or roots are dug in May or November after aerial parts are dyed. Then they are washed to free from the soil, dust and debris. The pieces are cut into about 10 centimeter pieces. They are carefully dried. The adventitious roots are removed, and after this the material is packed in bags for market. Now coming to the description of the podophyllum. Podophyllum rhizomes are obtained in pieces of 5 to 20 centimeter long. They are usually unbranched and subcylindrical. Rhizomes are of dark reddish brown color. The fracture is short and starchy, and the odor is slight but characteristic. The taste is bitter. Now coming to the chemical properties or chemical profile of the podophyllum. The American podophyllum yields resin to the tune of 3.5 to 6%, whereas Indian podophyllum yields 6 to 12% resins. The podophyllum resin is also called as podophyllene. The active principles of the resins are lignans comprising of podophyllitoxin, alpha paltatin and beta paltatin. The another ingredient of this is quercetin, which is a flavonone. Now coming to the podophyllitoxin, the uses of the podophyllum is drastic hydragogue purgative. It also has the antimitotic properties. Antimitotic properties means it prevents actually the reproduction in cell. Its effect is similar to the colchicine, and it is used in the treatment of warts. Podophyllum resin is used to remove soft venereal and other warts. The podophyllum is also used to prepare the etoposide, which is effective in the treatment of cancer due to its anti-neoplastic properties. Podophyllum resin is a caustic for certain papillomas. Podophyllum resin provides successful control of some forms of cancers as it has got tumor inhibiting properties. It is also used as a bitter tonic. Now coming to the extraction of the podophyllum resin, how we will extract the resin actually from the material. A resin is extracted from podophyllum powder by percolation method with alcohol and subsequently precipitating the resin by acidified water. The precipitate is dried properly and podophyllum resin is obtained, which is packed in the suitable containers for market. Now coming to the important note, podophyllitoxin exists in two forms, that is in cis and trans forms, and the another important note is that mostly purgative property is due to the cis form of the podophyllitoxin. Now third one, whereas antimitotic or tumor inhibiting and anti-cancer activity is due to the trans podophyllitoxin. Fourth one, in moderate doses the drug is drastic purgative and used in cases of constipation developed due to malfunctioning of the liver. The fifth one, when applied topically, the resin is used as 25% dispersion as 70 to 80% alcoholic solution. There are certain precautions to be observed. The resin in large doses causes severe GIT irritation. It causes inflammation of the stomach and intestine, and it may be fatal also, and therefore the drug should be taken under supervision of the physician. The another drug The next drug which I will be discussing is cannabis. Cannabis is called as Indian hemp. It is also called as marijuana, pot, bhang, ganja or charas. Now coming to the official source, cannabis consists of dried flowering tops of pistillate, that is female plants of Cannabis sativa belonging to family Moraceae, or it is also the another name of the family is Cannabinaceae, from which no resin has been removed. Coming to the geographical source, cannabis plant grows wild and cultivated both. Second one, it grows in India, Pakistan, East and South Africa, USA and USSR. It is indigenous to Asia and especially Indian continent. In India, the cannabis grows in Maharashtra, West Bengal, Jammu and Kashmir, Uttaranchal, Madhya Pradesh, Delhi, Punjab, Haryana and Himachal. Now coming to the historical background of cannabis, cannabis is indigenous to India. It is known from ancient time to Hindus and Chinese, from where it spread to the Arabian countries, where it was known as hashish. It is spread to European countries at a later stage. Cannabis is available mainly in 4 grades. The grade 1 is Indian cannabis, where the resin yield is 20% or more. The grade 2, the Mexican cannabis, where the resin yield is 15% or more. Now grade 3 is other hemps which yield 6 to 8% of the resins, and grade 4 are USA and USSR grown cannabis which contain less than 6% of the resins. Now there are important notes about the cannabis. 1. Cannabis plant grown in temperate climates such as USA and USSR yields very less of the resin. The second important point is cannabis plants with less resin content are grown or cultivated for the fibers and the fixed oils. And the third one, the Indian cannabis obtained carefully from the unfertilized pistillate or the female flower heads, in which activity is much higher than Mexican, American and USSR grown cannabis. Now coming to the cannabis products, cannabis is used to prepare 3 narcotic substances. The one is Indian hemp or ganja of India. This is round or Bengal ganja. The both flat and round ganja consist mainly pistillate flower heads with few leaves of cannabis in compressed form. The another product is bhang or siddhi, that is called Hindustani or hashish in Arabic. It consists of larger leaves and twigs of male and female plants both. The third product is charas, also called marijuana in Europe. It is crude resinous exudation obtained by rubbing tops of female plants before flowering in hand and then them scraping the adhering resins from hands in the container. The collection of the cannabis, it is produced legally by licensed growers, where the male plants are eliminated from the cultivation. The resinous tops, largely of unfertilized female plants of 5-month age, are cut and pressed into the cakes and dried. Now coming to the morphological description of the cannabis, cannabis is annual crop whose plant height is 50 to 100 centimeter. Second one, the cannabis is of dull green color with a strong narcotic and characteristic acrid and pungent taste. Now coming to the constituent profile of the cannabis, Indian cannabis, the resin content in the Indian cannabis is 15 to 20%, which yields the chemical substances like tetrahydrocannabinol it is a major constituent. Tetrahydrocannabinol is highly potent in activity. It possesses euphoric properties, that is a stage of exaggerated and alleviated sense of well-being where the person thinks very high of himself. Then third one, it exhibits psychotropic effects where it exerts action on brain cells producing sedative effect inducing sleep. The another activity of this is it exerts analgesic effect, subsides the pain, the subsiding the pains, and next one, it exerts more potent action when taken orally than when consumed by smoking. The other ingredients of the cannabis are tetrahydrocannabinol. Tetrahydrocannabinol causes side effects, that is intoxication, it causes mental disturbances, it is habit forming substance, it is called addiction. And second one, cannabinol and cannabidiol, they are less potent constituents of the cannabis region. Here it is important to note that sedative effect of the cannabis region is due to cannabidiolic acid, cannabichromine and cannabigerol. It also contains the volatile oil, which is a brown amorphous semi-solid mass soluble in alcohol, ether and carbon disulfide. The another ingredient of this is choline and trigonelline. Now coming to the standard of cannabis. The standards for the cannabis are of high significance as it is liable to adulteration and substitution. The S content is 15% and alcohol soluble extract is ranges from 10 to 15%. Now coming to the uses of cannabis. Cannabis is used as hypnotic agent, anti-convulsant agent. It is given in anorexia to increase the appetite in patients, especially of AIDS patient. It has got analgesic property, antitussive property, anti-emetic or anti-vomiting property, especially in cancer therapy where vomiting is a serious problem. It is also used in neurological disorders. As I told you, it is used as a mild analgesic, it is a mild sedative. It is used in excited conditions to calm down the excited mental status of the patients. Coming to the tetrahydrocannabinol, it is useful in relieving the glaucoma pain by lowering the intraocular pressure. Tetrahydrocannabinol is also effective in bronchial asthma. Cannabidiol is useful in grand mal epilepsy. Now coming to the important note 1, use of cannabis and its product in medicines is decreasing as it causes the addiction. However, it is used commonly in psychological and physiological studies. The third drug of this particular category is jalap. Jalap is also known as jalap root or jalap radix and Mexican jalap. The official source for jalap is jalap consists of dried tubercles of Ipomia purga belonging to family Convolvulaceae. Coming to the geographical source, jalap is grown in Jamaica, India, South America and Mexico. Now coming to the habitat, jalap plant is a perennial herb. The tuberous roots swell due to the reserve food storage and then they are converted to tubercles. The tubercles are collected by digging, they are cut into the pieces and dried by heat. Coming to the morphology, jalap is fusiform, irregularly ovoid dark brown in color with distinct odor. Its taste is sweetest, but finally it is acrid. The drug is available in slices of 5 to 10 centimeter long size and of 2 to 10 centimeter diameter. Now coming to the chemical profile of jalap. Jalap yields resin ranging from 8 to 12%. The resin contains ipurogenol, jalapin. It also contains volatile oil, a coloring matter. The nature of resin is glucosidal resin. It comprises of the two fractions, scamonin, that is 10%, which is present to the tune of 10%, and which is ether soluble fraction. It contains ciamonic acid and it is medicinally less active. And the second one is convolvulin, that is also called as zalapin or zalapergen, that is present to the tune of 90%. It contains 18 hydroxy groups esterified with valeric, tiglic and hexagonic acids. Now this fraction is medicinally more active. Now coming to the uses of jalap. Jalap is powerful hydrogogue cathartic. Now coming to the preparation of the jalap resin. Jalap resin is prepared from powdered jalap. The powdered jalap is taken. It is extracted with the alcohol. The alcohol extract is concentrated and then it is precipitated by water. Then the material is filtered. The crude resin is obtained, which is again washed with water for the purification, and thus pure resin is obtained, that is jalap resin. Now coming to the substitute and adulterants of jalap. Jalap is substituted or adulterated with Tempika jalap, the Orai-Java jalap, Brazilian jalap and Mirabilis jalap. Now I will be concluding my introductory lecture on reagents. Friends, today I discussed with you certain introductory aspects of reagents. The reagents are found in plants combined with volatile oils and gums, alone or in combination. Reagent and reagent combinations are mostly physiological products found in some specialized ducts or cavities. They also include balsams and gluco or glycoreagents. And you have also seen that how important the reagents are for the treatment of diseases and for the maintenance of health and hygiene. Now along with the introductory aspect of reagents and their combinations, today I have also discussed three important drugs such as podophyllum, which is used as cathartic and also for the treatment of warts. It is also a bitter tonic. The another drug, cannabis, is a good hypnotic and analgesic agent. It is useful in overcoming the problem of anorexia to increase appetite in persons suffering from AIDS. The last drug, jalap, is again a good cathartic agent. Friends, in subsequent lectures, I will be discussing 4 individual drugs such as colophony, turmeric, ginger and capsicum possessing reagents and their combinations. Thank you very much.